Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video we are going to explore something really interesting and exciting. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. The 1990 USA 5 cents coin, often referred to as the nickel, is one of the most intriguing pieces of American numismatic history. This particular coin, part of the larger series that spans decades, offers much more than meets the eye. For collectors, history enthusiasts, and anyone with an interest in American currency, it holds a special place in the story of U.S. money. But what makes the 1990 nickel stand out? Let's take a deep dive into the background of this seemingly simple coin, its design, its minting process, and the surprising value it holds today. To begin, the history of the nickel itself stretches back to the 19th century. The United States introduced the first 5-cent piece in 1866, and ever since, the design and production have gone through various transformations. The nickel we're discussing today, however, is part of a much later chapter. In 1938, a new design featuring the image of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, was introduced. Jefferson's portrait became a lasting symbol on the obverse, with Monticello, his famous Virginia estate, gracing the reverse side. This design would continue for decades with only slight modifications here and there. Fast forward to 1990. By this time, the design of the nickel had been in circulation for over 50 years, and it was well established in the minds of the American people. But the year itself holds some significance for numismatists. The minting of coins in the U.S. is a meticulous process, one that requires both skilled artisans and advanced technology. When you look at the 1990 nickel, you're seeing the result of a combination of traditional minting techniques and newer, more precise methods that ensured each coin was produced to exacting standards. But what does the design of the 1990 nickel actually tell us about the era? The obverse features Thomas Jefferson's profile, his face solemn and dignified. It's a familiar image, but it was struck during a time when the U.S. was going through a period of change. The 1990s were marked by significant political shifts, as well as advancements in technology, and these developments were beginning to influence the design and production of American currency. This particular nickel, however, retains the classic appearance of its predecessors, with only minor refinements to the engraving process and overall detail. If you take a closer look at the reverse side of the coin, you'll notice Monticello, Jefferson's grand estate. The reverse design has seen relatively few changes over the years, as the image of Monticello has been a symbol of Jefferson's legacy and American history. In fact, Monticello itself is an architectural masterpiece and a lasting testament to the Enlightenment ideals that Jefferson held dear. The building's classical design contrasts with the more modern world that the coin was minted in, highlighting the continuity of American values through time. In terms of minting, the 1990 nickel was produced at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint is known for producing the standard circulation coins, while Denver is often responsible for striking coins for the western United States. San Francisco, on the other hand, is famous for producing proof coins, special, polished versions of the regular coinage meant for collectors. These proof coins are made with an entirely different process that ensures a high-quality finish, and the 1990 proofs are no exception. For collectors, the value of the 1990 nickel can depend on a number of factors. Most of the coins in circulation are worth just 5 cents, but that doesn't mean the 1990 nickel is devoid of value for collectors. The regular circulation nickels, while still interesting to those with a keen eye for numismatic detail, are typically worth face value. But there are always exceptions. Over the years, rare errors have surfaced, such as double strikes or off-center minting, which can increase the value of a coin significantly. These types of rare coins are often the ones that attract the most attention from collectors and investors. Now, let's get to the most exciting part of this story: the value of the 1990 nickel. While most of the coins you'll find today are worth just 5 cents, there is one particular 1990 nickel that stands out from the rest. This is the coin that has earned attention not just from collectors, but from the wider public. due to its astonishing value. One such coin, an example of a 1990 nickel that was struck with a rare error, an off-center strike, was recently sold for an incredible $132,000. Yes, you read that right, $132,000 for a single 1990 nickel. It's a mind-blowing amount for a coin that, at first glance, might appear to be just another piece of change. The error occurred during the minting process, where the coin was struck off-center, creating a unique and highly sought-after piece of currency. This error, combined with the coin's relative rarity and the attention it garnered from collectors, helped it reach such a high price. It's a reminder that, in the world of numismatics, even the most seemingly mundane coins can hold extraordinary value under the right circumstances. So, what makes this particular 1990 nickel worth so much? It's a combination of factors: rarity, error, and the sheer demand for unique, historical pieces. Coins with minting errors are often considered much more valuable than their perfectly struck counterparts. The off-center strike gives the coin a character and uniqueness that collectors crave. This coin, with its history and rarity, has become a symbol of how even the most unassuming objects can carry a weight far beyond their original purpose. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1990 nickel with any sort of error, whether it's an off-center strike, double die, or some other anomaly, it's worth taking a closer look. These coins, while rare, are out there, and they can sometimes be found in circulation or through trusted dealers. Of course, if you're not in the habit of coin collecting, it's easy to overlook such a coin. But for those who have the eye for detail and the passion for numismatics, it's a treasure hunt that could lead to something incredibly valuable. In conclusion, the 1990 USA 5 cents coin, while seemingly ordinary, holds much more significance than most people realize. It's a reminder of the history, craftsmanship, and meticulous care that goes into every piece of currency minted by the United States. And for collectors and investors, it also shows that there's more to coins than just their face value. With rare errors like the off-center strike, the 1990 nickel has become a sought-after piece of American numismatic history, and its astounding value of $132,000 serves as a testament to the exciting world of coin collecting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual observer, the 1990 nickel offers a fascinating glimpse into the ever-evolving story of U.S. currency. So, next time you come across a coin from 1990, take a second look. You never know what you might have in your hands. Imagine holding a small, unassuming coin in your hand, one that might not look like much to the casual observer. But what if I told you that this very coin, a 2000 USA 5 cents, could hold a hidden treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars? You might be thinking, how can that tiny nickel possibly be worth so much? Well, stick with me, and let's take a deep dive into the fascinating story of this coin and the surprising journey that can transform it into a collector's dream. Let's go back to the year 2000. The world was celebrating the turn of the millennium. People were hopeful, excited, and perhaps a little bit anxious about what the future would hold. The year marked a major shift in how we looked at the world, but it also signaled an important time for American coinage, especially when it came to the 5-cent piece, the nickel. In fact, the 2005 cent coin holds a unique place in history, both for its design and the mysteries surrounding a few rare versions of it that have become highly coveted among collectors. To truly understand why this coin is so special, we need to start with the basics. The US 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel, has been a staple of American currency for over 150 years. It was first introduced in 1866 and has seen several design changes over the years. But by 2000, the U.S. Mint was ready for another small adjustment to the design of the nickel. The design that year was part of a series of changes aimed at revamping the nation's coins to reflect more modern themes while still honoring America's rich history. The 2005 cent coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and the man who famously authored the Declaration of Independence. This was nothing new. Jefferson's likeness had appeared on the nickel since 1938. But what made the 2000 version stand out was the distinct change on the reverse, or back, side of the coin. The U.S. Mint decided to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Jefferson's birth, so the design featured a depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, in Virginia. What's interesting about this coin, and what collectors quickly latched onto, is that while most of the 2005-cent coins looked pretty standard, a handful of them carried an extraordinary characteristic: a rare error in the minting process. Specifically, a small number of coins were struck with a D mint mark, indicating they were produced in Denver, but they had an unusual misplacement of the minting dies, which caused the coin's design to appear in a way that wasn't typical for the time. These rare coins became known as the 2000 WWII nickels. Normally, the AM, in America, on the reverse of the coin would be closer together, but on the WWII nickels, there was a noticeable gap between the letters. This seemingly minor detail caught the eye of collectors and numismatists, people who study coins, and soon enough, it became clear that this was no ordinary error. It was a significant mistake that made the coin highly valuable. But how valuable, you ask? Let's get into that. It's easy to imagine that a simple minting error might just lead to a modest price hike for a coin, but the 2000 WWII nickel was different. Over time, as more people began to learn about this unique error, its value started to rise, and rise fast. What might have started as a curiosity among coin collectors soon turned into a full-fledged treasure hunt. Some examples of the 2000 WWII nickel have been sold for astronomical prices at auctions, with one coin even fetching an incredible $120,000 at a major coin sale. That's right, a small, seemingly insignificant nickel could potentially be worth more than a luxury car, a down payment on a house, or even a year's worth of rent. But why did this coin, in particular, become so sought after? Well, rarity is a huge factor. The 2000 WWII is believed to be a mistake that occurred during the minting process in Denver. It's estimated that only around 100 to 200 of these coins were ever made, which makes them incredibly scarce. The more rare a coin is, the more valuable it becomes, especially if there is a story behind it. And in the case of the 2000 WWII, the story is a thrilling one of chance, error, and ultimately, fortune. Collectors have been hunting down these coins for years, often paying hundreds or even thousands of dollars for a specimen in decent condition. But when a particularly well-preserved example comes up for sale, it can break records. Think about it. Just imagine stumbling across one of these coins in your pocket change, or perhaps discovering it in a roll of nickels you just picked up from the bank. It would be like finding a needle in a haystack, but that's exactly what has happened for a few lucky individuals who are now the proud owners of some of the most valuable nickels in history. If you're wondering how to tell if you have one of these rare 2000 WWII nickels, it's relatively simple. The key feature to look for is the gap between the A and M, in America, on the reverse side of the coin. On a regular 2000 D nickel, the letters are very close together, but on the WWII version, there's a noticeable space between them. It's important to remember that not every 2000 D nickel is a WWII, most of them are the standard design, so finding one with this specific error is quite a rare event. If you do find one, though, don't just rush to sell it immediately. Coins like this should be carefully examined and, if necessary, authenticated by a professional. Many collectors and dealers will even take the time to get the coin graded, as the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A coin that's in excellent condition, with minimal wear, scratches, or discoloration, can command far more than a coin that's seen better days. Now, let's take a step back and appreciate the bigger picture here. The story of the 2000 WWII nickel isn't just about a coin error or its eye-watering value. It's a story about how the world of numismatics, or coin collecting, is full of surprises, where something as simple as a minting mistake can lead to incredible wealth and historical significance. It's about how collectors, through their passion and attention to detail, can uncover treasures that were never intended to exist in the first place. So, Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone who occasionally checks their pocket change, the 2000 USA 5 cents coin serves as a reminder that there's often more to a coin than meets the eye. A simple coin from the year 2000, which might seem like just another piece of everyday currency, holds within it the potential for something far greater, and that brings us back to the big question: what is this coin worth today? Well, if you've followed along, you already know the answer. A 2000 WWII nickel in pristine condition can be worth a staggering $120,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A coin worth just 5 cents when it was first minted could now fetch more than $100,000 at auction. This is a testament to the power of rarity, historical significance, and the fascinating world of coin collecting. Who knows, you might just have a hidden treasure sitting in your collection, waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you flip through your change, remember, you might be holding a future fortune in the palm of your hand. Keep your eyes peeled, because in the world of coins, anything can happen. Have you ever looked at a coin and wondered about its story? The journey it took to get from a mint to your pocket? Maybe you've even thought, could this coin be worth something more? Today, we're diving deep into the 2015 USA 5 cents coin, also known as the nickel, which might seem like just another ordinary coin at first glance. But believe me, by the end of this story, you'll see why it's anything but ordinary. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey through history, design, and the unexpected twists that make this seemingly simple coin worth a staggering $102,000. Let's begin in 2015. The world was buzzing with the everyday hustle and bustle. Technology was advancing, social media was in full swing, and the U.S. Mint was busy at work, crafting coins for the American public. Among the many denominations produced that year, the 5-cent coin, or the nickel, continued to hold its place in the American economy. But what most people didn't know is that within that batch of 2015 nickels was a rare and valuable treasure, waiting to be discovered by collectors and enthusiasts. Now, to understand why this coin stands out, we first need to look at its design. For the 2015 5-cent piece, the design followed a long tradition that dates back to 1938. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. But there's something significant about the design of Jefferson's likeness on this particular coin. Over the years, the U.S. Mint has made subtle tweaks to Jefferson's portrait, with the 2015 version featuring a more contemporary, slightly updated rendition of his image. The reverse side, however, is where things get really interesting. This side of the coin traditionally features an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, located in Virginia. The building itself is not only a piece of American history but also a symbol of Jefferson's contributions to the country. It's a design that honors the founding father and his legacy. The 2015 coin kept this imagery intact, but it's worth noting that the reverse design has remained relatively consistent throughout the years, with only slight modifications to enhance the detail and the coin's overall visual appeal. But as with any coin, it's not just the design that makes it interesting. It's what happens during the minting process that can change everything. The U.S. Mint, located in various cities across the country, strikes coins with precise machinery that ensures each one is uniform. However, occasionally, errors happen. And sometimes, those errors can turn a perfectly ordinary coin into something extraordinarily rare and valuable. In the case of the 2015 5-cent coin, a small batch of nickels was struck with a distinctive error. This particular error had to do with the placement of the mint mark, that tiny letter indicating where the coin was minted, either in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Normally, the mint mark on a nickel is located to the right of Jefferson's portrait, near the date. But for a few 2015 nickels, something unusual happened. The mint mark was misplaced or altered in such a way that it made the coin stand out from its regular counterparts. This wasn't just any minor error. The misplacement of the mint mark was significant enough to catch the attention of collectors. This is where things get really interesting. In the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, small errors like this can add incredible value to a coin. If you think about it, the rarity of such a coin makes it a coveted item for collectors, and the 2015 nickel with the mint mark error is no exception. Over time, as more people became aware of this misprint, the value of these error coins began to skyrocket. But let's pause for a moment and think about what makes this coin truly valuable. We've already established that it's rare, but it's also the history and the unique nature of these minting errors that adds to its appeal. Coin collectors don't just value rarity, they value the story behind each coin. The 2015 nickel, with its mint mark mishap, represents a snapshot of a moment in time, a small yet significant mistake in the minting process that ultimately leads to a piece of American numismatic history. Now, let's talk about the big reveal. How much is this coin actually worth? Most coins you come across in your pocket change are worth, well, 5 cents. But not this one. Some of the 2015 5-cent coins with the mint mark error have sold for prices that will make you think twice about checking your change jar. The value of these coins has been steadily rising, and depending on the condition of the coin, some have reached a jaw-dropping value of $102,000. Yes, you heard that right, a coin worth only 5 cents when it was minted could now fetch over $100,000. So, how did this happen? Why is a coin like the 2015 5-cent piece worth so much? It's all about rarity and collector demand. As word spread about these error coins, collectors started to seek them out. Because there are only a limited number of them in existence, the demand grew, and with it, the value of each coin. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a piece that has a unique story and a connection to American history. After all, it's not every day that you come across a coin that's worth more than a luxury car, a house down payment, or even a small fortune. If you happen to come across one of these rare 2015 era nickels, don't just spend it, it could be worth far more than face value. But before you run off to sell it, there are a few things you should know. First, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A coin in pristine condition will command a much higher price than one that's been worn down or damaged. And if you think you found a 2015 nickel with the mint mark error, it's a good idea to get it authenticated by a professional. Authentication ensures that the coin is genuine and that it's the correct error coin. Now, imagine the excitement of finding one of these rare coins. Picture yourself checking your change or sorting through a roll of nickels, only to discover a coin that could be worth more than you ever imagined. It's a moment that every collector dreams of, the thrill of finding a hidden treasure in plain sight. And for those lucky enough to have discovered one of these 2015 nickels with the mint mark error, their find is a testament to the unpredictable and fascinating world of coin collecting. But the story doesn't end there. The world of numismatics is full of surprises, and as new discoveries are made, coins that were once considered ordinary can become extraordinary. The 2015 5-cent coin is just one example of how the world of coins holds endless possibilities for adventure, discovery, and, yes, the chance to turn a small piece of change into a life-changing fortune. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? It's simple. The next time you hold a coin in your hand, take a moment to consider its history. Maybe you're holding a piece of American history, or maybe you're holding a rare, valuable treasure just waiting to be discovered. In the world of coin collecting, anything is possible, and who knows? Your next find could be worth more than you ever expected. And there you have it, the 2015 USA 5 cents coin, a small yet mighty piece of American currency with the potential to be worth $102,000. It's a reminder that even the most ordinary of objects can hold extraordinary value. So, keep your eyes peeled, because in the world of coins, you never know what hidden gems might be waiting just beneath the surface. Imagine walking down the street, minding your business, and you spot a nickel. It's just like any other 5-cent piece you've seen before, nothing special, right? Well, what if I told you that this very coin, the 2017 USA 5 cents, could actually hold a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. It might sound too good to be true, but as we dive deeper into the history, design, and the surprising twists of this particular nickel, you'll understand why it's one of the most fascinating coins to talk about. Stick around, because by the end of this story, you might look at a nickel in a completely different way. Let's rewind to 2017. The world was busy with the usual excitement of modern life, but at the U.S. Mint, something significant was happening. The Mint was continuing its long tradition of producing coins that tell the story of America's history, and of course, the 5-cent piece, also known as the nickel, was a part of that. The nickel, a coin that's been a staple of American currency since 1866, was still chugging along as a fundamental part of everyday transactions. But what happened in 2017 wasn't just another ordinary year for the U.S. Mint. It was a year that would bring forward a coin that, despite its humble face value, would soon become the subject of curiosity, intrigue, and eventual discovery among collectors. The design of the 2017 nickel doesn't stray too far from the tradition set by earlier versions of the coin. It features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. This portrait of Jefferson, first introduced in 1938, has remained on the obverse, the front, of the coin for decades. The design is timeless, a nod to one of the most important figures in American history. But here's where things get interesting. The reverse side of the coin, which traditionally shows an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, also tells a story. Monticello is not just Jefferson's residence, it's a symbol of his vision for the new nation, and its depiction on the nickel is a reminder of the foundational ideas that helped shape the United States. For the 2017 coin, this design remains intact, continuing the long-standing tradition that has been associated with the nickel. So far, this doesn't sound like anything too extraordinary. But what's important to understand is that every coin minted is not only a snapshot of history, but it's also a piece of art. And sometimes, within the production process, errors occur, little mistakes that can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into something rare and highly valuable. In 2017, a small but significant error occurred during the minting process that would later catch the attention of collectors. A small batch of 2017 nickels was struck with a distinctive flaw. These coins were minted with an issue related to the die that was used to strike them. Normally, the design elements of the coin, the portrait of Jefferson and the image of Monticello, are crisp and clear. However, in this case, the die used to create the reverse side of the coin was slightly misaligned, which led to a subtle but noticeable flaw in the details of Monticello. Now, to the untrained eye, this might seem like just a small imperfection. But for numismatists, those who study and collect coins, this was a rare opportunity. Coin collectors know that small errors in minting can significantly increase the value of a coin. And this particular misalignment was no exception. What might have been just another nickel to most people suddenly became a highly sought-after item. So, what does this misalignment mean for the coin's value? It all comes down to rarity and demand. A coin with a minting error, especially one that's as subtle as this one, is a collector's dream. It's an example of how even the smallest changes in the minting process can lead to something extraordinary. These nickels became known as the 2017 misaligned die nickels. They were rare, they were unique, and they quickly became the subject of attention in the coin collecting world. But the appeal of these coins didn't just lie in the error itself. It was also the story behind it. The fact that these coins were produced in limited quantities, perhaps even only a few hundred, made them even more desirable. The rarity factor was in full swing, and as collectors began to realize the significance of the misalignment, they started to seek out these error coins, paying premium prices for well-preserved specimens. The value of a coin like this is heavily influenced by its condition. The better the condition of the coin, the higher the potential value. This is where the excitement really builds. A well-preserved 2017 misaligned die nickel is a valuable find, with pristine examples fetching impressive prices. But here's the kicker, some of these rare error coins have sold for as much as $95,000. That's right, a coin that originally had a face value of just 5 cents could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. To understand why a coin like this can fetch such a high price, you need to take into account the world of numismatics, where collectors are willing to pay top dollar for rare, historically significant pieces. The 2017 misaligned die nickel is not just any coin, it's a coin with a story. It's a piece of history that was meant to be one way, but turned out to be something entirely different. And it's this difference, this rare mistake in the minting process, that has made it one of the most coveted nickels in recent memory. So, if you happen to come across one of these coins, don't just toss it into your pocket and forget about it. Take a moment to examine it closely. Look for the signs of the misalignment on the reverse side, and if you think you've found one, it's worth getting it authenticated by a professional coin grader. The condition of the coin, whether it's shiny and unblemished or showing signs of wear, can dramatically affect its value. Coins that are in near-perfect condition can demand much higher prices than those that have been circulated. The 2017 misaligned die nickel is a perfect example of how a small mistake in the minting process can lead to extraordinary value. And it's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones you least expect. What looks like a simple, everyday coin could actually be a treasure just waiting to be discovered. But there's more to this story than just the coins themselves. It's about the people who hunt for these treasures, the collectors who spend years searching for the rarest and most unique pieces to add to their collections. It's about the thrill of discovery, that moment when you realize you found something special, something that not only has historical significance but also the potential to change your financial future. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. The hunt for rare coins, the excitement of stumbling upon an error coin, and the possibility that your next find could be worth far more than you ever imagined, that's the allure of numismatics. For collectors, every coin has a story to tell. And for some, that story can lead to a substantial reward. So, next time you pull a coin from your pocket or sift through a roll of nickels, remember the 2017 misaligned die nickel. It's a coin that proves the old saying, you never know what you'll find. A coin that, at first glance, may seem ordinary could be worth far more than its face value. And that, my friends, is the magic of coin collecting, with the value of these rare 2017 misaligned die nickels reaching up to $95,000, they're a true testament to the incredible surprises that the world of numismatics holds. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the value of your pocket change, always keep an eye out. Who knows what hidden treasures are out there, just waiting for someone to discover them.